over, so I was a bit worried about that as well.
But how about Prince Charles? You were not nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous meeting Prince Charles. He was really, really lovely. He's very nice, so I enjoyed that.
Yes, and how about singing to Prince Charles in his birthday party?
I was quite nervous for that because it was right at the start of my career, just before my album was about to come out, and I was unknown. Although I had been signed up by a record company, I was unknown to the public, and so I was a bit nervous because it was like my first ever public performance.
Working is a pleasure for you?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, sometimes it can get a bit tiresome when you want to be out on the beach in Rio, or you want to go shopping in New York or stuff like that. You want to go ice skating in Canada or whatever, and then you have to stay in and do schooling 3 hours a day or do interviews or stuff like that. Obviously there are a lot of plus sides.
You don't like to do interviews?
It depends, some of them. Some of them are okay, and while I've been in Brazil, they've been really, really good because I don't know, they've just been asking different questions, so thank you. But in North America and in Europe, sometimes it can get really, really, really very difficult because, of course, North America, if you do it all in one trip, it's so big, and every day you're answering the same questions about 10 times over, and you're kind of like, oh. And then in Europe, of course, it's very, very hard for them to understand, especially my accent, because I talk very, very fast.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. But,
no problem.
So when they can't really say the question properly, and I have to say, sorry, what was that? And so sometimes they get a bit difficult, but most of the time they're great, and there's so many plus sides to doing all of this and working like this. So.
Don't you think it's too early to work so much?
Some people may say so, but I think it depends on the individual. I mean, there has been lots of horror story child stars, but there has also been a lot of successful child stars. Jodie Foster is a prime example. So I really do think it depends on the individual. And also I have my family with my mum and my dad travel everywhere with me, and sometimes my friends get to come with me, and when I go back home I still go back to school, still go back to normality. And also because my parents do travel with me, I get the discipline of a normal child. So.
I was going to ask you that. Do you have time to study when you go away?
Yeah, I have a private tutor who tutors me for 3 hours a day, and it's very, very hard to keep your concentration for 3 hours. It's like, oh no. And when you see...
You're just coming from...
Yeah, I just come in from tutoring, yeah, and we did French and we did geography. I'm doing a project on Italy, and then we did maths. We did simultaneous equations.
Why did you say maths?
I hate maths. I hate it. I really don't like it. But I love English, and I'm getting really interested in ancient history, especially Egyptian ancient history.
Why?
Because I'm reading a book on Cleopatra. It's 1,000 pages, and the writing is tiny. So at the moment I'm on page 760, but it's really, really good. So.
You said you love English, and how about French? Do you love French?
I quite like French, yeah. I mean, obviously as it gets harder, it gets more... It gets not so nice.
Do you know something in French?
Oh yeah, I've been doing French for a couple of years now, and I can say obviously all the basic stuff like je m'appelle Charlotte, j'habite à Cardiff, j'ai 14 ans.
You have a great accent in French.
Thank you. Well, of course, because I have to sing in French as well. And then I did Latin for 3 years, which was horrible. It's really, really difficult, Latin. And then I did German for a year. I did Welsh for 2 years.
A lot of languages,
and of course English, yeah.
Do you like to sing in other languages?
Yeah. I mean, I've sung in Japanese, I've sang in Spanish, I've sang in Italian, I've sang in Latin, I've sang in French, I've sang in Welsh, and I've sang in English.
My God.
Yes, loads. Yes.
Is it more difficult to sing in other languages than in English?
Well, obviously it is for me because English is my first language. It's not very difficult to sing in Welsh because I'm so familiar with it. And it's quite difficult to sing in Italian because when you do, everybody's so critical of it because Italian has to be perfect. German is another very hard language to sing in. But Latin is lovely because as it looks like it sounds, so when you read the words it's what it's supposed to sound like. And then French is extremely difficult to sing in because when you sing in French it's nothing like what you speak in French. So all the accents different and everything. So
you said about Italian, you think it's difficult to sing in Italian, and you know that you're very known here in Brazil because of the soap opera Terra Nostra.
Yeah.
Have you had an opportunity to watch the soap opera?
no, I haven't seen it
No?
actually. No, but I know I'm going to be going to the studio soon. I'm going to see it being made and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Was it good to do the job?
Yeah, it was really, really good, and singing with Agnaldo was really, really nice, and he was lovely. So.
But in fact, you sang separately, no? You were in
Yes,
Britain, he
yes.
was in Brazil, and then they put the
Exactly.
voices together.
Yes, because our schedules coincided, and I couldn't go over to Brazil, and he couldn't come over to Britain, so he had to record it in Brazil, and then I recorded it in Britain.
Was it difficult to do that, to sing for no one?
Not really, because his voice was still on the track while I was singing over it, so it wasn't that difficult, but I suppose it made it a bit more difficult.
Which is the part of the song that you prefer the most?
I like the last part when I don't know. It's just when it harmonizes, and it's really, really nice.
Can you just sing a little bit?
Okay, okay. It goes with that one.
Yes.
Okay, it goes.
The one you like the most.
Okay, it goes. Felice sognare con te, speranza è nata per questo che. There you go.
You have a really great voice.
Thank you.
Do you have any special care with your voice?
I mean, there are certain things I shouldn't do, or I should try not to speak too much on the day of a performance, and I shouldn't eat chocolates or eat mints.
Do you like chocolate?
I love chocolate. So that's impossible. I don't bother abiding that rule. And just drink lots of water. And generally you have to try and stay fit and healthy on a whole, you know. So you like you have to keep your body fit and healthy. You have to keep your voice fit and healthy as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you like to go out with your friends, for example? Do you have time to do that?
I do when I go home. I mean, after Brazil, I'm going home for 2.5 weeks, and then I'm going back.
It's a
off to
record.
America. Yeah, yeah. No, then I'm going back for 2 months to do my exams. Yeah. So when I go home, I do get a chance, and me and my friends love going shopping, and of course we have to go to school.
When you are at home, you go to school there.
Yes, I go to school. Well, when I go to home, so I have a normal school life. And then I love having sleepovers with my friends, where we just get all of our favourite videos and pig out and sweets and chocolate and Coke and pizzas and everything. It's great.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I don't, because I go to an all-girls school. So, and then I've got this career thing going on, but it doesn't really bother me because I got plenty of time.
No?
No, it doesn't bother me.
But don't you want to have a boyfriend in the future? How about your career?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to feel in a couple of years' time. Like I said, at the moment I'm fine. I'm just having fun with my friends, and you know, I'm just spending nice quality time with my family. But probably in a couple of years.
Do you have any hobby?
Yeah, I love swimming and squash and tennis and rollerblading and playing computer games.
My God, a
and
lot.
Yeah, there's loads of things that I like to go do, and I love reading as well. So
What do you like reading?
I love. There's an author called Bryce Courtney who wrote a book called The Power of One, and it's all about South Africa, and that's fantastic. And this book I'm reading at the moment, The Memoirs of Cleopatra by Margaret George, is amazing.
Yeah, you said.
And there's another book called The Tulip Touch by Anne Fine, which is also good. But I like factual books. I like factual books.
Do you know any Brazilian authors? Writers?
No, I don't. I don't know any Brazilian writers, because when I do read a book, I have to keep rereading it just to make sure I understand it. And then there's another couple of books which I like, which are, do you know the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling? They're amazing. I love them, and I can't wait for the fourth one to come out now.
How about Brazilian music?
No, I'm a bit clueless on Brazilian music as well, to be honest. Because in Britain, of course, there is like the Latin craze going on at the moment, but the only Latin artists we have are Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez. So we don't have all the Brazilian artists or Argentinian artists that you have over here. So I'm afraid I don't know any Brazilian artists.
How is it to be so famous? Was it a great surprise for you to sell 5 million copies in just 2 years of career?
Yeah, it was very, very bizarre because it went from me being completely unknown to just rocketing. So it was very, very bizarre because it all happened so fast. But my friends have been there to support me, and so have my family, and the school have been great. They've been really flexible and everything.
But it's difficult for you.
It is difficult because you just cannot comprehend it at all. You can't really think about what's happening. First of all, I haven't got time to think about what's happening because I'm just busy everywhere. I mean, when I go home, I'm busy with exams, or I'm busy with school or homework or singing practice or hobbies. So I never really get a chance to think about it. But it is kind of like mad what's happened.
You released 2 albums. Which of them do you prefer, Voice of an Angel or Charlotte Church? Which are the great differences between the first one and the second one?
Well, my favourite is Charlotte Church, that one, because the first and second are really quite different. The first one was religious and Celtic, and lots of people mistook me for they just thought I was a religious singer, when no, I'm an all-round singer, really. And the first one, my voice sounded a lot younger, and the second one, my voice has matured. And also, I'm able to sing harder repertoire on the second album because my singing teacher has taught me lots of difficult, advanced techniques during the time of the first album and the second album. So the second album is my favourite, and I've got 3 favourite songs on the second album. One is She Moved Through the Fair, second one is 'Tis the Last Rush of Summer, and the third one is Summertime. So.
Church is your real surname?
Yeah, it is my real surname because on the first album it was a lot of religious music, and my surname was Church. Everybody really did say she must be a religious singer. Her surname's Church, and she's singing all this religious music. But it is actually my real name. Yeah, so people are like, no.
Which are the high points of your career since now, in your opinion, about concerts or the songs in the albums?
Well, the best concerts I've ever done are for the Pope, singing for the second time for the Queen and the first time for the Prince, singing for President Clinton, and singing at the Hollywood Bowl in LA. That was fantastic as well.
Why?
Well, it was just like the Hollywood Bowl, and the audience were fantastic. I performed there for 3 nights, and I got a standing ovation every night, so that was lovely. And also there's been some showcases, basically the showcases what I do when I go to a new country, and it's just for all of the media, so all of the television companies come and journalists, and they write about it, so it gets the awareness of the artist up a bit. And I did one of them in Canada, which was fantastic, in Toronto. I really enjoyed that, and I did one in Sao Paulo, which was fantastic as well, so I really enjoyed them.
Do you have any special dream, like singing with someone special or perform in a special place?
Not really. I mean, there are so many people who I'd like to record duets with. I can't even begin to tell you how many. But one of my huge ambitions, maybe outside of singing, because of this book, Cleopatra book I'm reading, I want to go to Egypt, and I want to go to South Africa because of the other book I read, and I don't know, there's so many things that I'd like to do, and some of the artists I'd like to record with would be 3 British bands, one called Stereophonics, one called Manic Street Preachers, one called Travis, then Alanis Morissette and Lauryn Hill, and Mark Anthony, Madonna, there's loads.
Why Madonna?
Well, she's just fantastic. I mean, she's just been going for so long. She keeps reinventing herself, and the public still love her. And after her single American Pie just came out in Britain, she went straight to #1. So, and even though she's been going for so long, she still managed to keep herself extremely popular.
Do you have any plan for the future?
Well, I'm going to be recording a 3rd album soon.
When?
When? Oh, I have no idea. I know it's going to be soon.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to be maybe in the next 4-5 months. But I can't, I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be recording it because of my exams and everything. And then hopefully make a movie or something, because I did an episode in a series in America called Touched by an Angel, and I did an episode in a British series called Heartbeat, and so that gave me a little taste for acting, and it was really, really good. And we're getting lots of scripts from Hollywood and everything, which is extremely exciting. But we don't want to rush into anything. We just want to take it slow and pick the right project.
But do you want to be an actress?
Well, I'd like to try it. What I'd like to do, I wouldn't just like to stick to classical singing, maybe branch out into different types of singing and acting and dancing and being in musicals or something, and then decide what I like best and then do it.
Who are your great inspirations in classical music?
To be honest, I don't have many. There are people who I like and admire, but I haven't got like any idols or inspirations. No, not really.
Which are the ones that you like?
The ones that I like are Renee Fleming, Cecilia Bartoli, Cecilia Domingo, Andrea Bocelli. Oh goodness me, there's loads again. I've just got loads and loads.
You are in the Guinness Book. Which are your records, or which is your record?
Well, the record I hold is that I'm the youngest person ever to get so high in the British classical charts and in the pop charts, and I hold the same record in America as well, so yeah, it's good.
Is it good to be in the
Guinness Book? It's really funky, and all my friends run out and buy it or got it for Christmas or something. Oh, look, it's you again. You know, I ripped this page out.
Sometimes do you get full of yourself?
No, not really. I don't think that's a very good way to be, really. And I never like tell my friends who I meet or what I've been doing, because of course if they ask me, I'll be willing to tell them, and I tell them. And of course they have asked me when I went with Will Smith and Ricky Martin. It's like, oh, are they gorgeous and all this kind of stuff. But you know, I try not to kind of like tell them, just in case they think I'm boasting or something. So I don't really get full of myself. One, because my friends bring me back to earth, and my family do. And like I said, my parents are away with me, so they give me good discipline, so I can't get a big head.
Do you have a brother or sister?
No, I'm an only child.
Just you?
Just me, but I have a cousin Elliot who's 4, and because our whole family is so close, I see him every day when I go home, so he's like a brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And your relationship with your friends, you think it's exactly the same that it was before?
It is exactly the same, except we have a bit more to talk about. And when I go back, there's so much gossip that I've missed out on, so I have to get all the gossip and everything. And
so they have more things to tell you than no, I can't believe.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So it's great when you go back and you get all this gossip. It's fantastic. But no, our relationship is exactly the same as it was 2 years ago.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want you to sing something for us. You can choose.
Okay. I'll sing a bit of Summertime. You ready?
Yeah. Very much. It's great. Congratulations.